It's Monday, April 1st. Had a heck of a mess this morning. I don't know, it's got to be crowding 10 o'clock, I guess. Had to put corn in it and had some trouble with the GPS. I think Bob's got that figured out. Now we're having a speed sensor error. We put a manual speed in our boxes, in our planter boxes. We don't run off the sensor, so I don't know why it's giving us an error on that. Depth looks good. We had to put 6, 7, and 8 in about a 1/4 inch. We put 1 in about another 1/4 of an inch. Dug seeds up, everything looks good. About 2 inches deep, and getting close to having this one good, I think. And we'll start on the other one. We've got 35 acres here at Bob's house that we'll plant today just to make sure everything's up and running. Sky's overcast, talking 70% chance of rain tonight. So we're not going to get in a great hurry. We can get things lined out, get this 35 planted, know everything's smooth. We've got an 80, half a mile over the hill we could do. We'll see. One thing at a time, I reckon. Looks like he's getting ready to go here. Getting good seed soil contact. I put a little more down pressure on the press wheels. It was closing pretty good, but we've got heavy duty down pressures on the row units, so I felt like we could put a little more pressure on the closing wheel and not take it all off of the opener. Closing good, looks like. No complaints there. 8's leaving it just a little bit. Her 9, I guess that's 11. Leaving it just a little bit weird. It's plenty damp. It's not wet, but it's plenty damp. See what he thinks here on his speed sensor. I'd like to see some of these closed a little better if he's going up over a terrace there. Alright, that's what we're doing. Well, we finally got rolling. A lot of clouds in the sky, talking rain tonight, as I mentioned. Last pass on this 14 acres. We've got a little bit of problem with some electronics, making it work. I can make it work. I'd like to see it right. I'm having to float it down because it's not wanting to pressure down. Then we had a bigger problem. Over there, you can see the 4640 sitting. Bob's working on a 20-acre patch over there, and the coupler turned loose on the hydraulic pump. I mean, turned loose. It wasn't chattering. So anyway, it turned loose. Took a piece of the shroud of the radiator out, but didn't hurt the radiator. So I guess I'm gonna stop after this patch and go get parts and see if we can get it fixed before it rains it in the field. I just got back with parts and it's starting to rain. I'm gonna try to get this thrown together. Yeah, she turned loose. Took a chunk of the fan out. Oh, I was just talking on my video. The fan shroud was like brand new before this deal.
So it wasn't a coupler. 19.
Typical John Deere engineer. So what we ended up doing was taking the whole shaft out because we could not get a wrench on those front ones at all. So we pulled the dampener off. Once you pull them studs out, it's only 4 more bolts to get the dampener off. We could not get the shaft out because it was hitting the face of the dampener. So we finally just pulled the dampener off. And then the shaft barely squeaks out. Got it out. 2-second job then to get the bolts out. Loctite them, put them back. There's a lot of cussing going on earlier, so that's why I wasn't videotaping. There's the old ones. tight?
Tighten up.
Huh?
Tighten up.
That bullshit. Make sure they're tight. Alright, we're gonna turn this with a sprayer. A little breezy be spraying. So shaft should slide right back in, no problem. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I'd want to be spraying. Probably not spray anything important. Climbing back in there. So these others can't be threaded in there because they're threaded through. So it's still going to be a fight to get those back, probably.
We still got to put the dampener back on.
We can put that in, shaft in, tighten up the shaft, and then we'll put the dampener back on. Bring an ear off this side, can you, Bob, or not? There, tip it. You get it? Alright, get that slid back on with a few choice cuss words. And then we will see if I can get that. Okay, so he's took a little chunk out of the shroud. I think I told you that earlier. He's gonna get the bolts back in that. Are we all the way back with that shaft on? When we get the bar, make sure we're all
Do we need to be all the way back?
Well, I'm 99% sure it was all the way back. We don't want to tighten it the whole way. You got it?
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to get this shaft back in there after John Deere Engineers gave us the shaft one more time. Alright, it's back in there. It's that coupler. But anyway, it threads in from each side. One bolt threads in from each side, and then you have to put that lock nut on both sides. Gotta line it up. Anyway, it's in. Put the plate back on the belly, and we're done. Alright, getting ready to take off here. And take the box truck and the four-wheeler back to the house. Hopefully his GPS picks up. Tractor's much quieter now with that deal being changed. The hydraulics were whining a little bit when it wasn't under load. Assuming it had something to do with that coupler, obviously. But I've heard them knock, like the motor was out of the dang thing before, but I've never heard them do quite what it was doing. Well, we're going to get this 35 acres finished up. And pretty well got the planters where we like them. Then we'll, if it doesn't rain tonight, we'll probably hit her pretty hard tomorrow. Later, guys.